Imagine clocking into your job at Walmart, only to find you're sharing your shift with the unseen. This is the reality I found myself living in when I took the night shift at a seemingly ordinary Walmart store. The night shift at Walmart was a routine like any other. My shift started when the rest of the world was getting ready to sleep. The store, usually bustling with customers, now sat in quiet solitude. The tasks were mundane: restocking shelves, cleaning aisles, and counting inventory. Everything was ordinary. Everything was as it should be. But as the nights went on, the routine began to feel different. The first few nights were uneventful. The eerie silence of the store was the only company I had. But then, the whispers began. Soft at first, they grew louder each night, bouncing off the steel and concrete walls of the deserted building. I'd turn around to find no one there, only the echo of my name lingering in the air. It started with small, almost unnoticeable things. Items I'd perfectly arranged on the shelves would be misplaced or moved. Strange noises would interrupt the silence. A creak here, a thud there, always just out of sight. And then came the feeling of being watched, a constant prickling sensation at the back of my neck. I tried to brush it off as my imagination, the side effect of lonely nights in an empty store, but the signs were there, a prelude to the uncanny events that were about to unfold. The shadows, too, began to play tricks on me. They moved in ways that defied the natural laws of light, darting across the store as though they had a mind of their own. I tried to shrug it off as a figment of my imagination, but the strange happenings only escalated. As the night deepened, the fear started to set in, creeping into my thoughts like an insidious mist. The whispers grew louder, not just figments of my imagination, but distinct, eerie voices echoing through the empty aisles. The dancing shadows took on more menacing forms, their movements more purposeful, more threatening. A palpable feeling of dread filled the store, as if it were alive, breathing with me. The once familiar corners now seemed alien, filled with a lurking menace. I was no longer alone in the store, or so it seemed, but accompanied by an unseen presence that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. In the toy section, I was met with a sight that could make the bravest soul shudder. Dolls began to display signs of life, their glassy eyes following my every move, and their plastic bodies moving of their own accord. One night, a doll chased me down the aisles, its tiny feet making a chilling sound on the cold, hard floor. As the night grew darker and the store quieter, an invisible chill began to permeate the air. I could feel the presence, even if I couldn't see it. The temperature would drop inexplicably in certain parts of the store, creating cold spots that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. The feeling of being watched intensified, and it was not just the dolls. It felt as though an unseen entity was observing me, lurking in the shadows, following me down the aisles. The air would shift around me as if it was brushing past, and items would fall off the shelves seemingly of their own accord. The unseen presence was making itself known, asserting its existence. I had to accept the reality. I was sharing my shift with the unseen. The store wasn't merely filled with products and dolls, it was also home to something that existed beyond the realm of the natural world. My colleagues started to leave, one after another, unable to handle the unexplainable events. But I chose to stay, driven by a need to unveil the truth behind the eerie occurrences. As the clock struck midnight, the haunting escalated, becoming more intense. The dolls that once smiled innocently from their shelves began to move on their own, their eyes following my every move. The shadows that had danced on the periphery of my vision grew bolder, forming ominous figures that seemed to mimic my actions. The whispers that had been a constant background noise transformed into clear, discernible voices, speaking in hushed tones. Was this my imagination playing tricks? Or was it something else? I was living in a nightmare, trapped in this surreal reality, but I was determined to confront the truth, no matter how terrifying it might be. Digging into the past of this Walmart, I discovered a chilling fact. This store stood on what was once a cemetery. The local folklore spoke of vengeful spirits haunting the place, disturbed by the construction that had disrupted their eternal sleep. As the whispers of the past grew louder, I decided to investigate to find out what was happening. I pored over old town records, learning about the history of the store and the land it was built on. I sought out former employees who shuddered as they shared their own eerie experiences. The pieces of the puzzle fell into place, painting a chilling picture. The store was haunted, and I was right in the middle of it. Fueled by this revelation, I decided to face the supernatural entities. One night, armed with courage and a resolve to put the spirits at rest, I walked into the store ready to confront the unknown. As I took each step towards the store, my heart pounded in my chest. But I was determined. I had come too far to back down now. I pulled the door open, the creaking sound echoing in the silent night. I stepped inside, the darkness enveloping me. With every ounce of courage, I called out, "Spirits that reside here, I mean you no harm. I acknowledge your presence and ask for peace." The air grew colder, the silence even more profound. But I stood my ground, ready to face the unknown. What I encountered that night was an experience that transcended the boundaries of the natural world. I felt an icy chill, a sense of dread that hung heavy in the air. But I stood my ground, speaking words of peace and respect, promising to honor the disturbed souls. As my words echoed in the eerie silence, I sensed a change. The spirits responded, their haunting whispers slowly fading into a hushed silence. The dancing shadows, once disconcerting and unsettling, gradually retreated, returning to their ordinary inanimate forms. And the dolls, their once menacing gaze softened, were just dolls again. It was as if a calm had descended, soothing the restless spirits. The spirits had found their peace, and in that moment, so had I. The haunting had ceased. The resolution had been found. I left the night shift with a newfound respect for the unseen, a testament to the power of understanding and empathy. And then, as quickly as they had begun, the strange occurrences ceased. The whispers faded away, the shadows returned to their rightful places, and the dolls, well, they were just dolls now. The spirits had found their peace, and in turn, I found mine. Life returned to normal, but I was forever changed. I continued to work the night shift, the store returning to its quiet routine, the aisles once again filled only with the hum of refrigeration units and the occasional rustle of a stray shopping bag. But every flicker of the lights, every creak of the floor, reminded me of the unseen world that I had faced and come out the other side. The memories of those haunted nights were etched deep in my soul, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit when faced with the unknown. Never again did I doubt the existence of the unseen. My nights at the haunted Walmart taught me that sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that lie hidden beneath the surface of our everyday lives.